Alright, welcome to this video. Today's video, we're going to go configure OSPF. We're going to configure OSPF between these two devices as well as these two devices. So we'll have an OSPF process. So this is what we're going to start doing. It's just to show you. We don't have connectivity from this LAN segments to these LAN segments. So I'm going to show that to you. We're going to try to ping from this PC here to this PC here. And it says destination unreachable. So I'll minimize that. We'll bring up router 0. And we're going to do this one in global configuration mode. So we're going to go router, OSPF. Actually, let's do something different. Let's go int loop 0, IP address 1.1.1.1/255.255.255.255. Description: OSPF router ID. So this interface is going to be our router IDs, which are important because that's how the routes know what router originated them. Now we're going to go to, let's make sure it's no shut, but it did say change state to up. So now we're going to go ahead and do our router process. Router OSPF 10. And that should all we need. What? Oh. Yeah. Router. Exit. Router. There we go. It didn't like it because we were in interface commit. That won't work in real stuff. OSPF. We're going to do process 10. And as you see, that's all we need for this command. So now we're in the router OSPF configuration mode. So now we're going to do router ID. And we're going to give it that loopback interface ID. So 1.1.1.1. So that's our router ID. Now we could do an auto cost reference bandwidth, and we could give it a reference in megabits per second. So we could just do 100 for 100 meg. As you get into gigabits, you'll end up using that auto cost reference bandwidth more. So there's that. All right, so let's start giving our network IDs. So we're going to do network. And we have a subnet of 10.0.10.0. And this is wildcard mask. So it would be 0.0.0.255. And now we have to do an area 0. So everything needs to be in area 0 for the backbone. So if you have a stub network with area 1, it at least has to be touching area 0 somewhere. So that's that network. So we'll do the next one. Network 10.0.20.0, 0.0.0.255, area 0. So now we have these two subnets in there. And now we're going to go ahead and put this subnet in here, because we're going to neighbor with them. So network 10.0.0.0, 0.0.0.3. Oops, forgot the area 0 command. Area 0. So there, now we got all those networks built out. So we also could do a default route. So we could do that as well. So let's do that. So let's do default information originate. And there's nothing else. So what this command does is it will do a redistribution to the other OSPF routers of a default route. So now we'll create a default route, 0.0.0, 0.0.0 to, we'll go gig 0/0/1. Okay, so there we go. So let's do this. Let's do show run section router. So here's our router information. So our router ID, networks, all that. So now if we were to do, now we're going to do interface mode on these guys. Actually, I'll show you since we don't have any neighbors yet. Show IP OSPF. Show IP OSPF neighbors. We don't have any neighbors yet. So let's go ahead and start configuring. We'll configure this one first. And we're going to do this one by interface mode. So we're going to create an interface. Oh, we're already in config T. Okay. Int loop 0. Description. Big on descriptions. OSPF router ID. IP address. 1. We're going to do 2.2.2.2. 255, 255, 255, 255. Okay. So that's our router ID. So now we're going to go into do show int IP int brief. So there we go. So we have these interfaces 1, 2, 3. So let's do that. So let's go int gig 1/0/1. And we're going to do IP router IP OSPF. And now we're going to do our reference. Our process ID is 10. And now it's going to ask us for an area. So we're going to do area 0. Now you could do this as well, OSPF. We could do network, which is network type. And this is for point-to-point links. So as you see, it's point-to-point. So we won't enable that yet. So what else do I want to configure? So I think that would be it for this interface. So let's do show IP OSPF neighbor. Do show IP OSPF neighbor. Come on. Oh, I know what I gotta do. Int gig 1/0/3 now, because we did 1. IP OSPF. Area 0. Now we'll get a neighbor relationship build. There we go. And as you see, we have a neighbor relationship it built. So if I do show IP neighbors, we have it. And our neighbor ID is 111. So now if I were to do a show IP route, I'll have routes now for OSPF. So I have a 10.0.20 I have a 10.0.10, and I have my default route 000. So that's that default versionation. All right, so let's finish building this out. So let's go to int gig 1/0/2. And let's go IP OSPF process 10. OSPF 10 area 0. So there's that one. And that should clear that guy. And now let's go to this one. And we will do show IP int brief. So it looks like we just need 1021. And we'll do the VLANs as well. VLAN 30, 40, and 250. So let's do int, let's do config t. Int gig 1/0/21. IP OSPF 10. Oh, wait, nope, I don't want to do that. Int loop 0. Description. OSPF router ID. IP address 3.3.3.3. 255.255.255.255. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and do int gig 1021. We're going to do IP OSPF 10 area 0. Let's do int VLAN 30. IP OSPF 10 area 0. And let's do int VLAN 40. IP OSPF 10 area 0. So by doing the interface stuff, you avoid doing the network address in the global configuration. So you don't have to do the network command. So int VLAN 250, IP OSPF 10 area 0. So there's all of those commands. Now if we wanted to, we could also do IP OSPF 10 OSPF. This doesn't have the passive interface. Okay, that's fine. But you could turn an interface as passive where it won't participate in OSPF process. So there's that. So show run. So let's go to our interfaces. So OSPF area 10. And our VLANs should have it. So our VLANs are going to populate. Actually, no, they're not. The OSPF didn't take on these. Okay, that's fine. That means we might have to go into global configuration, which we can. Enable. Show IP int brief. So 22. Okay. So config t int loop 0. Description OSPF router ID. IP address 4.4.4.4 255.255.255.255. Okay, int gig 1/0/22. IP OSPF 10 area 0 int VLAN 30 POSPF 10 area 0 int VLAN 40 IP OSPF 10 area 0 and int VLAN 250 IP OSPF 10 area 0 end. Okay. So now let's go back to this router. And we have stuff going. So let's do show IP route. So we have a bunch of OSPF routes now. So we have 4, 8, we have 30, 40, and 250. So by our routes now, we should be able to ping from this PC now to the destination. Request timeout for ARPing. There we go. We have connectivity. So we can now ping that LAN. Let's see if we ping the 40. And we can. So we have full connectivity. Let's try from the 20 network. Ping 10.0.30.50. We could ping it. And we could ping. So now if we go here, we can do show IP route on this interface, on these guys. So we have interfaces for the 1010 network, 1020, 30, 40, and 250. So we're learning all those networks. So just to show you, if I go into here, we'll config T, we'll do int loop 0, we'll do IP OSPF 10 area 0. So now this guy will participate in the route. So now if we go back to here and show IP route, we should have a 111. So here's our 111. Now I'll go back to this and I'll do IP OSPF. Where's my passive interface? 10 area 0 10. Why won't it let me do the passive interface on packet tracer? All right, so it won't let me do the passive interface. Let's do this. Let's do router OSPF 10. There's my passive interface. So we could go to at least global configuration, do passive interface, and it'll be loopback 0. So now that won't be there. And now this should actually take that route out again. Still have it, but it won't participate in it. So it won't be part of the network. You'll still be able to, but it won't participate as an active interface. So one way you could limit your advertisements from going out. So that's OSPF, guys. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Thank you. Have a good day, guys.